Assalamu alaikum students, how are you? Today we are going to discuss a very important topic of current affairs, which is hybrid warfare. So this is very important, and there was a question in international relations about hybrid warfare. So the content of this video will include what is definition of hybrid warfare. So what is the meaning of hybrid warfare? Second thing, we will discuss the components of hybrid warfare. And thirdly, we will discuss Indian tactics against Pakistan. And fourthly, we will differentiate fifth generation war and hybrid war. So we are going to start a very useful video for those who are going to appear in CSS, PCS and PMS. So first of all, we have to look at the definition of hybrid warfare. So definition of hybrid warfare is combination of multiple conventional and unconventional tools of warfare. So what is definition? Combination of multiple conventional and unconventional tools of warfare. So this is the definition of hybrid warfare. So what are the components of hybrid warfare? So components means what makes up hybrid warfare. So number one, information warfare and propaganda. So propaganda is the biggest component or tool of hybrid warfare. So in propaganda or information warfare, social media is used widely. This is a tool which is used widely in contemporary world. So this will include Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp and all other tools which are used in social media. Number two is local newspapers. Like we have seen the narratives of India against Pakistan in its newspaper, and currently we have seen the event of our episode of Pulwama attack. So what was their narrative? We have seen state-run newspapers. These are especially those newspapers which build and propagate the narrative of state. So they are very helpful in hybrid warfare of the nation. Number five is TV channels. So these are used for information warfare as well as propaganda to create hybrid warfare or to run a hybrid warfare. So tool number second is diplomacy. This is a very helpful tool in hybrid warfare. So in this diplomacy, alliances are created. Like we have seen the NSC regime, USA is supporting India against China. So this is a type of hybrid war. International forums such as United Nations, NSG, FATF, like presently FATF has put Pakistan in its grey list. So we have discussed this. This is the type of warfare in India has played its part to prolong the existence of Pakistan in grey list. In NSG we have seen the nuclear secure suppliers group. This group has given India a waiver. Despite the fact India is not member of nuclear supplies group and United Nations organization in which state narrative is created. If you have gone through the General Assembly meetings which held in September usually, so you have noticed that India is speaking against Pakistan always. So this creates the diplomatic narratives. So number three is support of local unrest. This is the main tool which is used in hybrid warfare. So when there is certain problems inside the state, like this is a state A. So if this state has certain problems with state A, so what state B do tries to create or find certain groups which are waging war or have grievances against this state, so they help those groups, like we have seen in Balochistan. India is supporting those rebels, and like I have given the example of Baloch insurgency, India is supporting them. Crisis in Venezuela in other example, and we will make a I will try to make a separate video on Venezuelan crisis. So what we have seen that America is supporting Juan Guaido. America is supporting him, and they are creating hybrid warfare against the Nicolas Maduro. So you have seen this crisis, like Syrian war and Yemen war. These are examples of hybrid war, because first of all certain narrative was built in it. First they tried to build certain narrative against them, and at the when that narrative reached the culmination point, they attacked directly. So number 4 is economic warfare. First they weaken the country A. Country B tries to weaken the country A, so that they go for IMF loans, and certain sanctions are put on them, like there are many sanctions, embargoes are put on them. So embargo and sanction is blockade of certain things. This is complete ban on, embargo is complete ban on trade. So through this way economic this component is fought in hybrid war. So number 5 is cyber attacks. Cyber attacks are part of hybrid war. So we have seen that election hackings, like USA blames Russia for its 2016 election hackings, and there is an ongoing investigation against Donald Trump. Other European countries also blame Russia for interfering in their internal affairs. Like recently we have seen the Huawei company managing director was also arrested in Canada because of intellectual theft of intellectual property rights. Number 3 is data hacking. We have seen that certain, like Google's data, Gmail's, Yahoo, these data hackings have taken place, and Facebook hacking as well. Many accounts have been hacked around the world, and if you remember, Mark Zuckerberg was called in the Senate of America to give answer that what are you doing and why your servers have been hacked by the hackers. So these are the tactics against the between two countries, between A and B, and country B tries to weaken country A through this tactic. So number 6 is regular military forces. So when there is culmination or height of the conflict, or when they feel that that country has become so much weakened, then country B tries to launch regular military forces, like in Afghan warfare, Syrian conflict, and in Yemen war. So this is the regular military. Irregular forces, like proxy wars. America is fighting many proxy wars. Cold War is an example of this. Satellite state is an example of this, and insurgencies. I have talked about insurgencies, that these are the things which countries tries to launch between other countries in hybrid warfare, so that their country become weakened. So what are the tactics used by India against Pakistan? So these were the main forms or components of hybrid warfare. So now come at the tactics, Indian tactics of hybrid warfare against Pakistan. Number one is fake news. These news have been run on multiple social media accounts or other channels by Indian government. Number two is propaganda. Like we have seen, Narendra Modi called Pakistan epicenter of terrorism. So this was the propaganda against Pakistan. And after the opening of Kartarpur opening, we have seen that Narendra Modi and Sushma Swaraj, who is the foreign minister of India, said that we are not going to initiate bilateral negotiation until and unless Pakistan restrain the forces of terrorism. So this is the propaganda. So India is creating propaganda against Pakistan. In Pulwama attack episode, this was a sheer propaganda against Pakistan. Pakistan was not involved in this, but they created propaganda, and there were multiple reasons. If you want to know what were the reasons behind this, you can watch my video, Pulwama attack and involvement of Pakistan, a myth or reality. Then you will come to know that why India tries to create this type of propaganda against Pakistan. So this is the tool of India which is used against Pakistan. Social media is a big tool which is used against Pakistan to weaken the narrative of Pakistani government. That we have seen that Pakistan is a peaceful country. If we see the role of Pakistan in US Afghan peace process, Pakistan is main stakeholder. So this is creating, India is trying to create negative image of Pakistan on social media. Number four is support to local insurgencies. Like we have a famous case in front of us, that is the case of Kulbhushan Yadav. And Kulbhushan Yadav was arrested inside Pakistan, and he was trying to support certain insurgents like BLA and other organizations at the land of Pakistan. And we have seen another PTM Pashtun Tahfuz movement. In recent past, Afghan president also twittered on its Twitter account that Pakistan is stifling this organization. So this is none of their business. This is the sheer interference in the in other sovereign country. So MFN status deprivation, which we saw in the case of Pulwama attack, that India stripped for Pakistan of MFN status. So this is an economic warfare which we have discussed in a component of hybrid warfare. International isolation. India tries to isolate Pakistan in the community of international community and committee of the world through many tactics. And diplomacy, through diplomatic means, India tries to create an environment that Pakistan is a terrorist country, and they are not talking with us, and they are not peacefully tries to solve the issue. So on multilateral forums, on multilateral conferences or conventions, India has this narrative against Pakistan. And FATF narrative, which is the very common narrative. You have known recently that India is leading the review meeting of against Pakistan of FATF. So India tries to prolong the existence of Pakistan in that organization. And number 9 is espionage. So espionage is a crime, and we have seen that Kulbhushan Yadav and other spies. So Kulbhushan Yadav is the one thing, and there are many others which have been used against Pakistan. So these are the tactics which India uses against Pakistan in hybrid war. So what is the difference between fifth generation warfare and hybrid warfare? So you have known what is hybrid warfare. Hybrid warfare is combination of multiple conventional and unconventional tools of warfare. So we have discussed the components of hybrid warfare. So now come at the fifth generation warfare. So what is fifth generation warfare? Is an interesting development where non-state warriors like Al Qaeda or ISIS or BLA or many other organization which tries to create certain problems for the country, existing country, fight nation states out of sheer frustration without clear political objective. So in this we have seen that non-state warriors fight against nation state, but in hybrid war we have seen there were two states, involvement of two state. So when this non-state warriors which fight against nation state, for example in this state A, certain warriors are fighting against the state, against the nation state of sheer frustration without clear political objective. So if country B is at belligerence with this state, so this will support this. So this is called hybrid warfare. In when this faction is fighting against this nation state A, so this is called fifth generation warfare. So this is the main difference. And why these are fighting? They are fighting of for deprivation, because a country cannot provide certain amenities to other factions. That's why there is a deprivation, like economic deprivation can be of many kinds: economic, education, development, health also comes in this. Yeah, unequal distribution of wealth, unequal distribution of wealth. So these are the components of fifth generation warfare. In fifth generation warfare these component occurs, and many factions because of deprivation fight against the nation state, the same nation state where they exist. But in hybrid warfare we have seen that nation B tries to support the fifth generation warfare components or tools. Those are non-state warriors like ISIS, Al-Qaeda, and many other. You can get many examples. So this was all about hybrid warfare. There was a question in international relation, and there are upcoming examinations of Sindh Public Service Commission, Combined Competitive Examination, and PMS, and also CSS for CSS. So you should try to remember these things and try to understand what is hybrid warfare. And you can also go through other books and you other things as well. So there are many sources for studying this. This video has given you a certain idea how to attempt the question paper and how to give the proper answer. So this is the form of giving answer, and you could also quote certain other reports as well. There are many reports and there are many examples as well. So because the shortage of time, I have created this short video, so you can give also this certain statistics about these warfares. So I am optimistic that you have understood what is the difference between fifth generation warfare and hybrid warfare, and also you have understood what is hybrid warfare and how India is waging hybrid warfare against Pakistan. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Inshallah we will meet next time and we will discuss in other important topic of current affairs.